What's up, you guys? It's Kyle, and I wanted to make a video documenting everything I've done, what I've discovered, and any tips that I have in applying for the EIDL and the PPP loan. First, the EIDL. Now, I was able to apply for this. I believe it was one of the first couple days that it became available to the public. It was March 30th, 2020. I did this for the real estate company. Now, I'm happy to announce that as of April 21st, 2020, this money did show up as direct deposit in the business bank account. So instead of the 3 days that it was supposed to take, it took about 3 weeks. But hey, I'm not complaining. So in celebration for this, I'm actually gonna cheers this with a little bit of Macallan 12. So thank you, government. Now, what I think is gonna happen with most of these EIDL loans is that they're gonna be ended up forgiven just like grants, because really the cost of the loan is just going to go towards things like rent and employees that are still working at the company. So it's not really like anybody's making out here. We're just continuing to be able to pay for the expenses. So as of April 4th, I did apply for the same thing for a couple other companies. However, I did not see the money come in yet. Now, there could be a couple reasons for this. One, I don't know if these applications actually got approved. Two, it could be that the delay from the time I applied for the first one with the real estate company and the time that I applied for these other ones with the other companies just I didn't see the money come in yet, because it's about the same time delay that from April, now it's April 27th, so the 6 days, the money should have been there, but I haven't seen it come in yet. Or three, the money for the EIDL that was allocated to that just dried up by now. Now, one thing to keep in mind about the EIDL is money that was supposed to come in immediately. But if you apply for the PPP loan and you get a greater loan amount, that money is ideally supposed to be deducted from the full amount of the PPP loan. So if you do receive the EIDL and then you receive a PPP loan, it's supposed to be taken off of the amount that you will receive for the PPP. The EIDL was just intended to be quick money so that you can cover the overhead expenses immediately instead of having to wait for the PPP loan to get approved. So we did not apply for the PPP loan in the real estate company, and the reason for this being that the real estate company consists of a bunch of independent contractors that are on 1099. So essentially all these 1099 employees can apply for it themselves. So this is something to know if you are a small business owner with 1099 employees, that they can go apply for this PPP loan themselves. Now, before we go on to the PPP loan and talk about that, I need to ask you one favor. That is to smash the like button below. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also, destroy the subscription button and annihilate the notification bell so you will get notifications every time I post a new video, which is very often these days. Also, follow me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily, so you will get other aspects of my life as well. So now on to the PPP. The PPP, I have spoken to my CPA, a financial advisor, saw countless YouTube videos, attended webinars with other CPA specialists on this, as well as talked to the guy that was covering the PPP loan at the bank where I have applied, TD Bank, as well as talked to another person that sole job is to approve these loans at TD Bank. So I have gotten the most amount of knowledge I think I can get on this topic. Okay, so here are the main points about the PPP loan. The first $300 billion got wiped out super fast. This money is gone. Now, as of Friday, April 24th, Trump signed an additional bill allowing $310 billion for the second round of money coming in for the PPP loan. And as of today, these applications start becoming processed. Okay, so here is exactly how you apply for the PPP loan. If you did get your 2019 taxes done already, you go to the line 31 on your Schedule C and you get the total amount of your net income that you have made in 2019. Now you take this amount and you divide it by 12, and then you times that amount by 2.5, and that is supposed to be the entire amount of the loan. Now, one thing to be aware of with this is that this amount is capped for a 1099 employee at $100,000. It does not matter if you made $400,000 or if you made $105,000. You're still gonna get the same amount because this gets capped at $100,000. So, for instance, the way to do the math on a $100,000 cap, now this is something that was in question about earlier last week, and I did find out from all these different professionals that this is the exact way to do this. So if you are applying for the PPP, you want to reflect the $100,000 loan amount that you're going after on your application if you did make over the $100,000 amount on your Schedule C line 31. Because you don't want to put in a wrong amount here, because then there will be something wrong with the application and it will delay time, where now is where you need to get that application in so that you are in the front of the line or closer to it for this extra $310 billion that is coming out. Now, one thing to be aware of is that this money is capped at $100,000. So it doesn't matter if you made $400,000 or if you made $105,000. This number is capped. You're gonna be making the same amount with the PPP loan. So let's take the $100,000 for example, and you want to put the correct amount in, because if you end up putting the wrong amount in here, this is going to slow the process up for your application, and you don't want to do that right now. You want to get it in, you want to be closer to the front of the line so that this other $310 billion does not go away. And this was in question as of last week, because as of last week, we weren't really sure if there was a total cap on this or if you could apply for more. However, after speaking with tons of professionals that sole job is to know what's going on and know about these loans, that this is the correct way to do it, and it's $100,000. So if you're looking at your line 31 on your Schedule C from 2019, and if you see it over $100,000, you still want to put in this amount to reflect the $100,000 loan. So we're just going to do calculations here on what to put in your application if you are applying and you are at the, we'll use the $100,000 as an example. So if you take $100,000 and you divide that by 12, it comes to $8,333. Now you take that number and you times that by 2.5, which comes to $20,833. Now that is the full loan amount that you put on your PPP application. So there are no additional monies that a 1099 person can put above and beyond the $100,000 cap. No retirement contributions, no vacations, nothing like that that was up in question as of last week. It's the $100,000 max. So the second thing about this loan is 75% of it needs to go directly towards paying for employees, and 25% of it can go towards business expenses. So let's be clear about this. If you are a 1099 employee, and we'll use the $100,000 as an example, if you get that loan for $20,833, let's use $20,000 as a easy amount so that we can do easy math. So say you get an amount of a loan for the PPP of $20,000. That means $15,000 of it, 75%, can go towards directly paying your employees. Now, if you are a sole proprietor, 1099 employee, and you are the only one that is on the 1099, that is, you are the 1099 employee, you are actually an employee of yourself if you are an independent contractor. So that $15,000 is automatically forgiven, going towards paying yourself. That extra $5,000 on the $20,000 loan would be going towards paying business expenses such as rent. If you use your own rent, if you do work from your house, if you pay your utility bills, your car, things you need for business expenses, dues, subscriptions, training, etc. If you can show that that $5,000 went towards that, that is also able to be forgiven. Now there are also stipulations with this, as far as you can't fire any employees, and you need to retain all your employees that are working for you. However, if you are an independent contractor, 1099 employee, you can't fire yourself. You're sole proprietor, so that money is able to be forgiven. Now, the next thing about this PPP loan, I recommend setting up a separate bank account. I've heard this from multiple people, multiple professionals. If you do get this PPP loan, set up a separate bank account and label it 2020 PPP loan and make payments so that you can see debits coming from this account that's easily traceable, so that when people or when whoever has to look at this and decide whether this loan is to be forgiven, you make their lives easier and they can go through this and see exactly where the money came to and when. So that is absolutely everything right now that I have learned and discovered from the EIDL and the PPP loans. There are 2 points that I will leave you with though, and the 2 points are this. One, if you did make under a certain amount, it might make more sense to look at unemployment instead of applying for the PPP loan. This was something that a financial advisor had pointed out to me, so that if you are an independent contractor, say, and you made maybe less than $50,000 for the year, it might be more beneficial to go apply for unemployment than it would be to apply for the PPP loan. You will end up getting more money, especially with the state loan amount. Now in New Jersey, for instance, it's $600 on top of the unemployment. So you have to look at, I think it varies state by state. So the second thing to think about is possibly applying for one of these loans at a smaller bank, because apparently they have the ability to approve the loan faster than a bigger bank does. This is not something that I have done yet. However, if I do decide to do this, I will definitely keep you guys updated on this. That's everything for now. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe if you have not done so already, and hit the notification bell so that you will get notifications every time I put out a new video. And also follow me on IG. I post there pretty much daily, so you will get other aspects of my life as well. Thank you guys very much, and have a great day.